Hello, folks. My name is Jordan. This is Nick, and we are your hosts of DaddySenpai. And today we will be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of Arcane Season 2. Fuck your rage comments.
This is not rage bait.
This is not rage bait.
This is not rage bait.
This is how we feel. We still we're fans.
We're critical thinkers, unlike all you fucking plebs on
Everyone's
TikTok.
A fucking hype. Everyone's just so happy for mediocrity.
Yeah.
Enjoy your fast food.
Do you think
fucks.
you want to talk about like
let's just
past comments or Arcane? Like in terms of, I guess the one that I keep
address all the people's grumpinesses.
That, but mainly
You guys are so
the worst anime character video, because we constantly are getting views and comments and like thoughts about that video.
Well,
where we
that
say
one or
Sakura and Zenitsu basically are the
that
worst
or
characters.
Jujutsu Kaisen or even One Piece. I mean, the one that I see the most
Yeah.
is everybody think that we're just rage baiting, which nah, bro, we're just not hype train. We have real opinions. This is how we really feel about it. We're not here to try to get views. Just hey, this is how we feel about it. Like,
yeah, I mean, we're here to give our honest review of things, and we're both filmmakers. We both make we're storytellers, so we're gonna come at it more of from an analytical perspective versus a like, oh my god, that one moment was so cool, and I love this show because of, I like the character's costume and I want to cosplay it. That's not where we're coming from.
Holy crap! That one time when they had a little kid like him, that's crazy.
And just because we don't like something doesn't mean it's bad.
No,
it's just,
to us it's bad.
Yeah, just you have shit taste, but
you can like it, but it's shit.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's the long and the short of it.
Well, no, I mainly want to talk about. Okay, so we made a video about the worst anime character or characters of all time. We said Zenitsu and Sakura, and a lot of people were commenting that we were one wrong, and two, the other character that we completely forgot was Mineta from My Hero Academia, the guy with the balls. But here's the thing.
Sure.
Well, he's terrible. He would be, yes, for sure, the worst character. But when I say worst character, I'm talking about main characters. I'm not talking about like the side characters.
He's also built to be a crappy character. He's not built to be a cool character.
Yeah.
He's wearing a toilet bowl.
But he's really annoying. So I agree with them. Like, he sucks. But
he's not a main character. He's
So
a side piece meant for a joke. Like
I would say worst anime character title would go to a character that literally ruins the show. Like, that takes you out of the show. Like, he comes in and you're like, oh my god, he's annoying, and he's in for an episode, and you're like, all right, whatever.
He's had a couple of cool moments
all the time. Yeah, sure. So is Zenitsu, so is Sakura, but it's like they're still terrible characters.
Sure. But I guess the kid that's wearing a gimp suit in a toilet bowl makes me kind of go like, I mean, when he has a cool moment, I'm like, good for you, good for you, man. Like, that's a big
throws
deal.
Balls. That's all he does.
I mean, that's all I do.
And another character that people kept commenting was Sho Tucker. This is from Fullmetal Alchemist. This is the guy that merges the daughter and the dog together.
Okay, but is that an annoying character or just a piece of shit?
Yeah, no. So worst anime character doesn't mean he's a well-written villain. He's actually a very good character. He's an amazing, phenomenal character. I just hate him.
So
we
should have said most annoying character. Is that the note we should have gotten?
I guess most annoying character.
Annoying, sure.
But Sakura, I wouldn't
not?
say so. I mean, Sakura's annoying, but it's not.
The older she got, the less annoying she got. Within reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just say I guess the most annoying character.
Did I say this last time that she's actually the most impressive character in all of Naruto?
Yeah, you did.
I did. It's still the biggest thing.
Yeah.
The most bootstrap, more than Rock Lee, the most bootstrap character there ever has been. Like, in Naruto.
Sure.
Just because she likes the bad boy.
Yeah.
The K-pop man.
She sucks.
She does suck.
Yeah.
And she blows.
Anyways.
Arcane?
We
can get to it?
Yeah.
Is this where we get to it? Oh my god. Oh, here comes some more hateful comments. Okay.
Overall, I think Arcane's a phenomenal show.
Yes.
When I watched season 1, if they continued season 1 and finished it as like season 1 is to me the better season by far.
Before you go into it, I want you just to tell me, how do you feel about season 2? It's quite simple.
Okay. Season 2, I thought the good would be, I mean, obviously the animation's out of this world, the music's out of this world. I mean, everyone, like, hats off to everyone who worked on the show. At all technical levels, it's like a 10 out of 10. I would say that I enjoyed. There's a lot of great twists and turns I didn't expect. I thought they ended it pretty well overall, and they really set up like a lot of different side stories and spin-off shows that could happen, and they're doing those, and I'm really excited. So I thought season 2 overall, I really enjoyed the ride. I would say I thought they were doing too much. I thought that they forgot like the main core of the show. And it seemed like when they remembered it, they were like, oh yeah, let's just say it here really quick.
Remember it?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think they remembered it at all.
I mean, they remembered it. The Vine Jinx thing, they try to bring it back for a sec, but I was like, it's too late, guys.
Did they though? I mean, because I'm ready to go, so you keep going.
Okay. I mean, that's my main note. Is it felt like they were doing too much, trying to like bring in too many stories. It felt like there should have been a season 2 and then a movie, basically to wrap it all up, like a 2-hour movie, 2.5-hour movie, which then you can explore more characters in those side stories and the like big crescendo that they had. But it just felt like we forgot about how intimate and character driven this really was. And then it turned into like, let's get all our characters in there and let's do all this crazy stuff. And let's focus on Victor and Jason. It's like, and Mel and this and the Black Rose. And it was like, guys.
The Black Rose thing really came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere. Which is cool. I love the visuals. The visuals were awesome for that.
Well, yeah, but we already know every part of the visuals.
The
and
visuals
sound design and music is incredible.
Yeah. They were just doing way too much. And they just needed to remember that this was a very character-driven like piece between two sisters, really about the Undercity versus, the rich versus the poor kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. And then I feel like they kind of just, it was there, but it wasn't really the focus. It felt like the focus was, look at all these other characters doing cool magical stuff. And it was like, what happened to the... And there's a lot of things like Jinx, where the biggest thing for me was where we left off with Jinx at the end of season 1, where she is in season 2. I'm like, wow.
Had the fight. Just because she met psychotic. A little girl?
She didn't even meet her yet. She was fucking psychotic.
Yeah.
And then we see her and she's like not psychotic anymore. And she's like kind of like she was reflecting on her life. And I'm like, no, you can't. You shown her blow up a building with like all these important people.
She knew there was people in there.
Signaling war is coming, basically. Like
she chose Silco.
Yeah.
She's like, I decided to be Jinx. I killed you. I'm going to continue your dream, Silco, and create Zod. Here comes my rocket, my shark rocket, and then
next season she's just moping around. I don't know. Who am I? What am I doing? Why? Which is fine. She can have that moment, just not right off the bat. Like,
well, just be a reason for that moment.
Yeah. Like
she chose. She made a decision. Yeah. I am this now.
Yes. And then instantly we
Powder's
don't even see.
Dead.
I never saw Jinx once this whole season. There's never Jinx. We saw like a mix of Powder Jinx
like
and Powder. Jinx. It was like mid-range Jinx to Powder. Mid-range Jinx to Powder, but we never saw Jinx ever again.
If that even. To me, it was just like Jinx as she's over the hill. Like they even gave her like crow's feet and stuff like that. Like blue line crow's feet. And I was like, okay, how much time has passed? This is a lot.
Another thing, time jumps. Was not a fan of all the time jumps. Was not a fan.
Okay, because we're about to get into it. So
those are basically like my biggest overall like complaints.
The time skip was what destroyed season 2 to me.
Yeah.
The time skip is what I still liked season 2. Season 1, in my opinion, though, was way better.
Yeah, much better.
It was. I think that season 1, when you have something as high fantasy as this, you need to have a grounded story, I think. Like, it's like you can make a giant... like a giant fantasy with technology and magic and worlds and weird characters and explain none of it if your story is grounded in something as simple as two sisters at odds. Like, I actually really like that. I'm like, that's great. Season 1 was fantastic. And it left on such a note, and it was like, whoa. But then season 2 felt like it should have been season 3. That's 100%. What it was to me. Like, this felt like a season 3, not a season 2.
100%.
All the connective tissue wasn't there. You leave, like you said, you leave on a high note with Jinx, who's like, I am going to become the villain that this world has made me and that I kind of made myself. And okay, now Vi has the complication of like, are you going to be on your sister's side or Piltover's side? And the first 3 episodes in season 2 kind of did do that. They kept the story going. And then they went to the underground where Jinx is like, I'm going to blow up all this tunnel and the smoke, and this smoke is going to be a problem, and it never was.
Yeah.
You remember that? Like,
people were saying that's because she's Powder. She like gave up. She was already like, kill me, sister. Like, this is how it's supposed to end.
But that's silly. You got to get me there.
I know.
Don't think you literally had her like, fuck this, it's game over, boys. Like, shoot the rocket. And I'm sorry, I hated the little girl. I hated her presence.
Isha was, I mean, look,
season 3 maybe it would have worked. Season 2 did not work.
I don't mind
the softening of a heart.
Yeah, I don't mind Isha's being there. Again, like if you said it was season 3, or if she spoke, she's mute. So if she spoke and I connected to her more, I just really didn't. It was just like, here's a little girl, she's kind of cute, and like, she's gonna like follow Jinx around, and then like, dye her hair that way, which is cool. I understand why they put Isha in there to like bring Jinx back to being powder and like put her in a similar role.
But
I know we'll get there.
But
we'll get there. They're putting Jinx in a similar role that Vi was in when Vi was protecting powder.
Yes.
When they were growing up, and now it's like, hey, look, like Jinx is treating Isha or Aisha, I don't know, whatever it is, but I'll say Isha.
You can call it Teemo.
Teemo?
Yeah.
Why?
One of the other characters in the game is called Teemo. It's like a little gerbil fairy. It's a yordle technically, which is a race that's Hermidinger is a yordle. The little
got
it. And so Teemo, the cap she was wearing the whole time, that's Teemo's hat. So it was kind of a nod to Teemo, I think. Or I guess it's just some kind of hat that everyone has.
Okay.
Bitch.
Okay, what was I saying?
Nothing important.
Fuck you.
You were saying that you didn't understand, like you understood that Aisha, Isha, Tisha coming in is a good character piece.
The role of the sister.
Yeah, she's switching out.
Yeah, because now Jinx is. Oh yeah, the way Jinx wanted to be treated by Vi is like full freedom. She wanted to like come on to every single mission. She wanted to like be a part of the group and important. And so that's why she just lets Isha do whatever the fuck she wants. Isha can like, hey, if you want a gun, like go shoot a gun. If you want to like run around with me, like go do. She just let her roam free.
Sure.
Didn't really try to parent her. And then you saw the consequence of that, and it led to a similar place.
Did we? What the
she
fuck
died.
happened to? No. Oh, I don't think she's dead.
Yeah, I know. Everyone. I feel like every theory that I've seen online.
I have it already.
Oh my god.
I'll have to look up the character, but no.
She turns into someone.
Yeah. The very end, the doctor that has the scar on his face, he turned her in one of the other characters. I forget her name, but it's basically a mechanical doll, and my theory is that he turned her into this mechanical doll called like Anna or something like that.
Isn't that his daughter though?
Oh, it could be his daughter.
He pointed at it. He's like, "That's my daughter." That's why he's doing all.
No. Well, it could be actually. You could be right that he did act. That actually maybe makes more sense. But I was thinking that because they never showed her being dead. They never explained why she is dead or how she pointed.
I mean, it exploded. I'm assuming.
Did it? I'm assuming.
I'm
assuming, yeah. But I mean, so that maybe isn't her, but that what you saw at the very end, that mechanical doll, that's another character in League.
Yeah.
I didn't like Aisha. I didn't like I think I'm gonna get into it right now. I called Warwick as one of the characters in it. I mean, they just called him Vander. Vander became Warwick.
Yeah.
And I was like, in the first season when they teased him at the very end, I was like, that's fucking Warwick. And the only thing that makes sense is Vander. Yeah, I was like, that's fucking Vander right there.
I did not see Vander coming at all.
But context is everything, and even in Warwick's backstory, I used to play League a lot. I play it still more now, but it's for fun. Warwick was my first favorite character, and so his whole backstory is like this hunting creature that lost its memory, doesn't know what's going on. I was like, it would make a lot of sense to connect the two right there, and I think it was a good idea to do that.
Yeah,
I don't think in the original lore Warwick is Vi and Jinx's stepdad.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case, but that to me should have been the impetus for Jinx to shift, not this little girl.
Oh, 100%.
Her and Vi are about to kill each other. We have a crescendo in Vi and Jinx like about to destroy, basically both cities through all this fighting and the war between the two, and then Vander comes along, and that's the impetus for Jinx to start this transformation into a different version of herself. That she has to take care of something, not a little girl. It should be the guy that took care of her. That kept her alive when she was, and now and she is directly responsible for where he is now too. Like that makes a lot of sense to me. Like it's like, so now it's almost her ability, a moment to atone for her sins and become something new is Vander. And so now the massive shift where she's like, I don't want to be this anymore, and no one believes her. Vander is the best example of that. Some random little girl who's now a part of it, and she's like, well, now I got to be a mom and a big sister. I'm like.
It would have been way more impactful to see Jinx, crazy Jinx, like full crazy Jinx, get brought back to being powder with Warwick Vander being there.
100%.
That would have been a very emotional moment versus like Isha just being a kid and like being there and following her around, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh, I'm like kind of like a big sister now, so.
How many orphans are in Zon? You're gonna tell me you picked the one? Like,
yeah, I think Vander would have been such a great scene. Like, and I also think the entire story could progress almost identically without Isha. You take her out, and then the same things happen without her.
The story could pretty much progress even without the time jump.
Yeah, we don't need a time jump.
Don't need a time jump.
Why did we time jump? I mean, the only reason is because they wanted Jace and Echo to have like those 3 months like in the other dimension. But you could also, you're fucking with time anyways.
I know.
They could just go, time is different here. Cool. They were there for 3 months. In that time, in our time, it was like a week.
100%. You could do a lot. I mean, it also didn't make sense to me that like you have this big crescendo. I mean, was it only 3 months? I think it was 3 months. It felt like years to me.
Was it years?
I'd have no clue. It just felt like so.
Oh
Vi
wait,
and
Heimerdinger
Jinx,
said he was there for like 4 years.
Well, Heimerdinger in that other zone was like time is relative here, so he was there for I
think 4 years.
Was it 4 years?
I think so.
It was hundreds of days. I know that much.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's my point. It's like so. Vi and Jinx have this big crescendo. Kate's like fuck you. Jinx is like fuck you, and Vi's like okay, I'm gonna go join MMA. Like I'm just gonna go do something.
Okay, actually, that's another thing I want to bring up is Vi. I thought they did not utilize her character or have a character arc for Vi. Really. Like,
she's the same person.
She's the same person.
Yeah.
And if anything, all that happens is that she gets depressed that she lost Caitlyn and Jinx or Powder.
Yeah.
And then she just goes. They do a quick montage. They should have that was such a cool section of the show. Like
it's all the conflict. It's all of it. Are you gonna pick Kate or your sister?
Yeah.
That's the whole conflict.
Yeah.
And then the more that each one becomes. Well, that becomes evil, but each one does
Jinx
horrible things
Jinx circles back to good, and Caitlyn kind of goes darker because she's like the mom dies, and then
has to for some reason become chancellor or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know. But what I was saying was when Vi was in the underground fighting in the pit, that to me could have been like half an episode, and they just montage through that, and it's like,
but why? Why is she even there? Like.
Because she's just depressed that she lost everyone.
No, I get why
and she's like,
she's
every
there,
time
but it's silly.
she said it, she's like every time I make a decision, like either people get hurt or like it ruins lives or whatever. It's like she's like I'm done. I'm just gonna fight and drink and like fuck life. And it's like, which is fine. You can have the character hit that low, but she never really. And it's my same issue with Korra. She never really learned from her mistakes and became smarter. She just kept fighting. Like her answer is, I have big gauntlets, I punch.
Right.
Every single time. And it would have been really cool to see Vi, because she's from Zahn. She's been working with Piltover. She's been at the center of everything. To see Vi like really, and they started doing season 1, but to see Vi like figure out a way that these two sides can come together. And like without fighting and resolve it without fighting. Which I thought that would be a nice character arc for her, because all she knows is fighting, and then finally she like hits this low, and then she's like, I don't want to fight anymore. Similar to Vander, he put the gauntlets down.
I think Vander would be the best impetus for that.
Yeah, like he brings Jinx to Powder, and he brings Vi from, hey, stop just hitting things and brawling and start using your brain.
Yeah,
and that would have been a great character arc for both of them.
I think Vander should have been literally the center of season 2. Both sides should be escalating their actions to almost be towards the realm of worse and worse evil, and then Vander becomes a thing because obviously the Doctor, maybe that is where you have Noxus kind of like start pulling their game while these two powers, Zahn and Piltover, are weakened.
Yeah,
now Noxus comes in as with Vander as a weapon maybe, and that is like that's the nexus of all this.
Yeah, and then now Piltover and Zahn have to come together and fight Noxus.
Yeah, and you don't need the time jump because while all that's happening, Jace, Echo, and Heimerdinger could be gone. They got transported.
Yeah.
I will say, and this, I can admit that not everything has to follow lore. Not everything always has to follow lore. But for some reason, I was a little butthurt because in the original lore, Echo by himself made the time thing. Like, he found all this stuff in the dump because a lot of stuff would fall down into the dump in Zahn, and he just like kind of figured it out.
I mean, he basically did. I mean,
it was literally all three of them. Jinx, him, and Heimerdinger were the ones that made it all work. Like,
which is fine. I don't think.
Like I said, I'm not gonna be a lore Nazi about it, but I am like, part of me was kind of like, I don't know, I would have. It was cool. It was still cool, but I kind of felt like Echo should have been a bit bigger of it, a bit more of the story. Like, I liked his character. I liked his growth to it.
I thought Echo's character was perfect, and the way they put him in the story was perfect this season.
I could have done with a little more.
I mean, I love Echo. I'll take more Echo any fucking day.
Yeah, I could have done with a little more Echo. I actually really like Jace's. Jace's thing was crazy.
I love Jace.
That was cool.
Like him coming back and just being like, I'm gonna kill. Like when he killed the dude with like right away, I was like,
yeah. But that was like, whoa,
yeah, that's
dude.
Like, yeah, that was wild. I'm like, what the fuck did you see over there?
This really did feel like a season 3 because even another one, they have another character in there, which I kind of thought earlier on. I forget her name, but the black girl that's Jace's love interest.
Mel.
That's another Mel. That's another. It's Karma. That's another character from the game.
No, I thought Mel is because they're adding Mel into League now.
Are they?
Yeah, Mel's her own character.
She feels like another character. She even looks kind of like
Really?
another character called Karma.
I literally heard
her
they're adding
powers
Mel
are like the
into-
same.
They're adding Mel into League.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because they added her mom already. So I was playing the other day. But I'll say like, she did seem like Karma because Karma is like looks very similar in her dress and her aesthetic and also like her powers are like a shield, a blast, and then like something else that you never probably really saw. But
I mean, as you can tell, we're talking about all these things. There's so much that happened in season 2, and that's why I think it should be spread out over because season 1 is so good at taking its time and has so many silent moments that like
very relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just they let it felt like you could breathe in season 1. There's a lot of breathing room and like time for us to like think and like I don't know. It was just a lot slower pace in season 2. It's just like, and we're off. Let's go. And I just felt like season 2 could have been like Mel's story could maybe slowly trickle in, and then season 3
should have hinted that she had powers at some point.
I mean, they did. I figured.
In season 1?
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Because literally, I think the only time
when the rocket gets shot.
But even then, you didn't see it. It was just
you saw her gold plate light up.
Did you? I don't even remember that.
Yeah, you see her gold plate light up, and then you're like, why do they? It looks like artistic, like they did it for artistic reasons. But it's like I kind of assumed. I'm like, she has powers, like that, or I thought Victor was going to save everybody, but it was her.
I will say they took Victor in a direction I never thought they would have taken him, like that, because that's not him at all in the games. Like it was interesting the direction they took him, and I also don't think Jace and Victor aren't dead. I don't think Jinx and Vander are dead. I don't think anyone's dead. Seriously, I think because you look at it, Jace and Vander or Victor just poofed away. They didn't die. They went to another dimension. We know there's other dimensions now.
Yeah.
Jinx and Vander, it looked like Kate earlier when she was going through like her mom's I guess hard drive, and she was looking at the plans. It looked like there was a long shaft and other ways to go.
100%.
So I was like,
if you go frame by frame, you can see before the explosion, you see it like a purple light go into a shaft.
Really?
Yeah. You go frame by frame. There's like 2 frames where you see a purple. Like,
like there's no way they're killing.
Use her super speed to get away.
Yeah, and I was like, there's no way they're killing. Oh,
One of the really quick, one of the other side stories they're doing. I forgot what the city's called. But I know they're doing Noxus. They're doing another side story.
Is it Demacia?
I think it's Demacia.
Demacia's cool.
It's Demacia, and Jinx's best friend is the blonde girl, the priest-looking girl. She has like a little wand.
Really? Lux? Lux is Jinx's best friend?
Apparently they're best friends. I saw a bunch of clips where they're like, yeah, we're going here, and Jinx is totally alive because they're best friends, and like, why would you do that? Also,
I didn't know that.
Fun fact, I just saw another thing today. Jinx, in season 1, Jinx said that when she explains what the blue orb is that she found to somebody, she's like, yeah, this like magical thing just like it opens up other like dimensions and like not dimensions. She didn't say that, but it's like it opens up like other worlds and connects things, and I don't know. And so she like at season 1 already kind of knew what this thing could do, which the people were theorizing like maybe she found a way to escape, and then also
she's not dead. They wouldn't kill her.
The powder from the other universe is for sure coming back.
She's like, I think the other Echo's hotter. she's like, yeah. Yo, this Echo's a square. That one kissed me like I like it.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Kinky. Kinky.
The Echo in my universe looks me in the eyes. This one bends me right over.
Yeah. He looks at the back of my head, and I like that.
He doesn't call me after.
Dude, Demacia is one of the coolest stories to me. There's so many places you can. The lore is so deep. But what's really cool about Demacia, it's actually a magic hating kingdom. They hate. They're like a bunch of just fighters. They're not even that strong, but they were always like under the foot of mages. And so one day they found this like stone that could absorb magic. So they built their entire city out of it. So essentially, magic can't hurt their city. And mages are like apostates. If we find a mage, they basically put them in jail or try to kill them. Like if you're born a mage. It's cool because Lux is one of the main characters in that place is Garen, who's like this big. It's like a guts basically. He's a guts.
I don't think Lux and Jinx are best friends.
I don't think so.
I was talking about a small petite blonde girl. She was in an animatic that they did, the one where like there's a giant stone creature that like has the golden
Galileo.
wings. Yeah. So like whoever that girl like summoned that light to like bring.
That's Lux.
That's Lux, the little tiny girl.
Yeah, but Jinx, I don't remember anything. I watched all the animatics.
Well,
Are you sure this?
They don't show it in animatic, but I think it's in like a game or something, or like in the backstory that they are like really good friends.
That could be interesting. I mean, like, Jinx isn't a mage, so there'd be no issue. But there's like one character named Silas who you'd love. That's like this like guy who's been basically in prison since he was a kid because he was a mage, and he has like these gauntlets with chains on them. Because she's like,
that dude, I remember.
He's the
him.
most dangerous,
Yeah.
and so like he's like, I will tear it all to the ground. Like it's a cool storyline. Piltover and Zahn, so cool and interesting to do, but there is
I think it's really
much.
smart for them to start in Piltover and Zahn because you want to ease everyone into this world. You don't want to just start with like, here's all this crazy magical shit. It's like, I like how they started really small. Like, there wasn't even magic really in the season 1. There was like
just the balls that were magic.
Yeah, you see that.
Yeah.
And then you see the progression of technology with magic. And
Which I loved. It was really grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very grounded in reality. Like, we're like, oh, we can understand that. And then you see like some magic here and there. You're like, oh, there's some magic. That's interesting. And then season 2, they're like, all right, you guys kind of get it. Like, here's a bunch of fucking magic.
Bunch of shit. Yeah.
Also, I feel like they watched Spider-Verse. And then the animators were like, let's do Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And like, the color...
Maybe.
If you look at season 1 and season 2, the color palette is so different. Season 1 is dark, gritty, cinematic.
Yes.
Like the color palette's like desaturated. This is like bright and like a lot of colors.
Music video-y, excited. Yeah.
And I really think they just... Especially when the dimensional thing was happening, it is straight up Spider-Verse. I thought they were going to beam to Spider-Verse. Like, I'm not even joking. I thought Echo was going to be like, oh,
I'm Miles Morales.
I'm Miles Morales. Fuck. I have spider powers. I'm not even joking. Like, it looked like if you could probably make an edit where you just cut between the two and you wouldn't not be able to tell the difference.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You know, when you bring that up, it still makes me double down on the Echo thing where I wish they went further. Because like one of the best cinematics to me in League is Echo's cinematic, where they really show you his power is like, yeah, he can go back in time, but he doesn't just get unscathed. He has to take that hit, and they definitely did it. I wish they went further with it. I wish they did more with it. Like because I love his whole deal. You know, he's just a guy who's got a blender on his back and like just goes for it. Like it's pretty sick. And they even show he got his sword, which is kind of cool, which I'm not even sure what that's supposed to be.
So I actually watched another. Dude, I've been down the Arcane rabbit hole.
Welcome.
So I watched a theory today, or not even a theory, a video where they're like, hey, you might have missed it, but basically the clock at the Piltover Tower, the main clock there, it's the hand of the clock.
Yeah,
that's the sword.
Oh, that would make sense.
So when it explodes, when they like are fighting and the tower explodes, that's where he sees it and grabs it.
That could make sense.
So it's there for like 2 frames. You don't really notice it, but like
I like that.
It's cool. Because also it's time. The clock, the hand of the clock, time.
It's branding.
That's cool.
I've got a real time brand. That's me. Time brand man.
Yeah. Everything I do related to clocks.
Yeah. I like that though. I mean, it was still really good. It just really did. I think our note is we enjoyed it, of course.
Yeah, 100%.
The time jump was a hard no for me.
Oh yeah,
you didn't need to do that.
No,
it felt lazy.
Yeah.
It felt like you could have really been more creative with it, and you could have had just less to do with Jason and Echo and Hermandinger and have all these other things progressing. Vi should not have fucked off. Jinx should not have fucked off.
Yeah.
And then really. Because here's the thing, too, is they did that to be... And then they like, oh, and then Piltover really had to knuckle down on Zahn. It's like, well, you didn't really see any of that.
No.
It's not like Zahn was like Joker, where they're like, Jinx is there, like let's rise up and revolt. It's like, you didn't see that.
And I wanted Jinx to rise up, to be honest.
I wanted her to lead Zahn against Piltover. That would have been
fucking awesome. That's what they set up in season 1.
They really did.
That's what it should have been. Another big thing I thought they just missed, and this is where I said that they forgot the core of their show, is at the end, after the whole fight, you know, number one, Zahn says that they're not coming to help.
No.
In the big war. They're like, fuck you guys.
And then like 10 people did.
And, well,
it was like 10.
I think they're just saying like, hey, we showed up, and like, you know, you're assuming that other people came too.
Sure.
So Zahn came to help. And then I felt like that should have been a much bigger moment where they're like, you know, saving each other, helping each other, fighting side by side.
Yeah.
You know, and then to wrap up the show, you see that Silco's main girl, I forgot her name.
Right, the chomper girl with the left arm,
that she has a seat on the council.
Yes.
Which is a huge fucking deal. And they just go, yeah, she has a seat. And I'm like, this was the core of the show, minus take out the sisters, Zahn, Piltover, that like rich versus the poor, that whole thing. And then it's like, yeah, they came to help us fight. You have a seat. And that was like all we got from that. And I was like,
the only way I'd follow you on that is if that was, let's say that Zahn and Piltover are finally coming to like parlay and actually like kind of like come to like some kind of talks at the table, and that was the discussion then, and then Noxus attacks.
100%.
That I would have been into,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
at that late in the game,
No,
you don't need a big moment.
I'm saying
Your
yeah.
visual shows what it is. I
Yeah.
think like
I'm saying that they should have focused on that more.
I think that's the problem is they look, this show takes a while for them to make. I can admit, yes, it takes
5
a
years.
long time for them to make this stuff.
Yeah.
It's doing a season 3, it would probably be really difficult. It's like, well, we want to get to other things, other characters, other stuff, and I'd be like, we'll just put more money into it, make more teams doing stuff. Like
Yeah.
this is a huge property and a huge show and a lot of capability to make something massive here that's going to be very popular. You may as well have multiple studios making multiple seasons at once.
Yeah.
Like you may as well. So I get that there's limitations for a season 2. Like we need to finish off this story because we do need to get to other things.
Yeah.
But it was worth not just shoving it all in, or it was worth maybe doing a little less, I think.
I think if you have to do it in season 2, you have one season to wrap it up from season 1, you do less. You just do less.
Yeah.
We don't need the whole dimensional thing. We don't need the time thing.
You can still do it, just one episode. Like,
yeah. I mean, we don't need, I don't know.
It's hard. You
don't need to go there. We didn't need all of that. We didn't. To be honest, for me, like we don't need that whole big review. Oh, this whole time was actually Victor and da. That's cool. Like I like it, but I'm like I've kind of seen that a million times where it's like, oh, actually, this whole thing was the mage from the beginning was Victor, and oh my god.
I will say the Victor thing was a little strange to me. That his switch to being just kind of more robotic personality wise, I was kind of like, well, where did this come from? Like
he saw the Arcane and he realized that he could like the future of humanity was like being connected, like you know, hive mind, and
solving
just, like,
every problem.
Yeah, there's no problems.
I suppose. I'll retract a little bit, but I guess what I kind of feel like is I'm a big proponent of wanting to see sprinkling of things as it goes, and the problem is Victor bails. He's like, bye, Jace. I'm going to Cabo. And then we have a time jump.
Yep.
And now everything's done. And he's got this colony of like hippies now. And everyone's one. And we only eat fruit and stuff like that. And I'm like, where did all this come from?
I'm like, show me.
Yeah,
And
I
they
need to
did that-
see this.
well,
like,
not only the time jump, but they do that a lot with just character decisions. Like Caitlyn and Vi. Remember the first time they re-meet after like their big snafu?
no
and then-
issues.
Oh, yeah. She just shows,
Hey, babe.
What's up? Oh, here's all the plans for everything. Like, you know, just because she bat her eyelashes at you. Like, I don't know. I just there's a lot of quick character. Like, it's
conflict was resolved too easily.
Yeah,
too easily.
Victor comes back. He's a completely different person. Okay, fine. I'll give you one. And then Jace comes back, completely different person. And it's like, can we?
Well, they did. Okay, they did end up showing us Jace.
They did.
So Jace, you got to let go of because I'll say like they did show.
Yeah,
They could have probably done a little more to show like I wish he was like talking to himself or something like he kind of was. But then who was he talking to actually? He was talking when we first saw him come back. He was talking to himself like, oh, I know, like all this kind of stuff.
Oh, I have no idea.
I thought he was talking to like Hermidinger and Echo at first, and they never explained who he was talking to. Which I guess they're just saying he's
Victor.
crazy.
No, he's probably talking to the Victor that sent him back.
Maybe I didn't see that. Maybe they did. It was still good. It just seems like we're on the same page. I think I'm just like you could have solved these problems. They didn't need to force it through.
Yeah. For me, if season 2 is as good as season 1, this would have been in my top like 3 shows of all time. Like if it continued at the level of season 1, I would have been like, yeah, this is hands down like one of my favorite shows of all time. And then where it's at now is like, it's like top 10. Top 15.
It became a little popcorny.
Yeah.
It was a little less of like this deep, dark, intense story, and it became a little bit like season 1. I'm like, it's perfect.
Oh yeah,
to me, it's perfect.
Every single word in season 1 matters, and they bring it back in such a beautiful way.
Characters are compelling and interesting, and then I think really what you and I are keying off of is just that Jinx was kind of the linchpin of the entire show, for at least these seasons, and she just over a second because she got a daughter is like, oh, I'm good now.
Yeah.
And you're just like, really?
As we're talking about it, I'm realizing
you killed thousands of people.
Yeah.
Like, that's it?
I feel like almost every character in the show had a huge shift in what their character was.
Off screen.
Like that. Off screen and just boom, they're a different person now. Victor's different, Jace is different, Jinx is different, Vi is different, and it's just like
don't you use a
Caitlyn's
montage
different.
to show me they're different.
Yeah.
Don't you montage me, you fucks. Like
yeah. So I felt like again, a season 3 And if this happened over the course of 2 seasons, they could have had those moments and really stretched out those character pieces, and it would have felt like season 1 again.
Yeah.
But because they were like, let's jam this all into, 1 season.
And if we're being fair, maybe it is limitations, and they're like, well, we have a choice between either getting out of here and going to see other characters and other worlds, or we can give this all it deserves. To be clear, I like this show. I'm still down for this show. I think season 1 was better, but I was never not entertained.
Oh, yeah, I love this show.
Yeah, I love the show still. We get very passionate when we love something, and we want it to be its best self.
Yeah. I also felt like the first 4 or 5 episodes, I'm curious who the writers are on because they change writers every episode. Like their show.
They?
Yeah, I mean, like maybe one writer writes 2 episodes.
Season 1 felt like a through line.
Oh yeah, it felt very consistent. I could feel different writers in every episode.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if that's true. But I would say I felt like the first 5 episodes, they were like, oh, we got to do the Arcane thing. Like, oh, we got to have a song here. We got to have an artsy montage here.
I can see
and
that.
And like, oh, we're doing a fight scene. Oh, we got to like throw a song on there. And it didn't feel like before when they did it, it felt like
stylistic.
Yeah, it felt like, oh, that's just like cool. Oh, I didn't even notice a song was coming in now. And then now it's like
Arcane.
It's like, oh, the fight's about to start. Click.
I wake up
Music.
from the ground.
Yeah. And they just start fighting.
Gravity.
Dude, yeah, the Jinx and Vi fight I thought was lackluster.
Yo, I'm going to say, oh yeah, well that definitely.
But
it's also, I mean,
it's an emotional fight, but I just thought that like they just montage through the whole fight. And if you look at the choreography in the fights of season 1 versus mine is episode 9.
Jinx and Echo when they fight on the bridge.
God. Dude, the choreography was so good in season 1. Season 2, they were just like, let's just play some music and like cut to things, and I don't know.
It felt like what happens a lot in Japan when you have the first season is an amazing team with an amazing like anime style, and they're like, okay, cool, we got the fans, and now season 2, let's cut the budget and find a cheaper place. Like,
yeah, I mean,
not that it looked that shitty.
They didn't do that.
They didn't do that, but it felt like they were like, let's do our gimmicks. People like the music and the thing, and like let's just do it. And that's the trouble.
I feel like around episode 6 to 9 in Act 3, basically, it really felt like, oh, we're back to like normal Arcane. Like 6 through 9 felt like season 1 level to me, and then like, or 7 through 9. Act 3 felt like we're back in season 1 level of
4,
like
5, and 6. I was not a big fan of 1, 2, and 3. I liked 7, 8,
1, 2,
9.
and 3 were good. 4, 5, and 6 were like okay. Like I like the Vander stuff, like Warwick. That's 4, 5, and 6. That was great.
That's the one reveal. But I think what made that kind of fall a little flat for me is Jinx and Vi were already just like buds again, and I'm like,
yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing.
Jinx was like, I have no sister. I am Jinx.
Yeah.
And it's like, and now you're not.
Well,
like,
here's another quick character decision that like, this one happens on screen, but it's just like she comes back and then she throws her against the wall and she goes, Vander's alive. And she's like, all right, we're cool. And then it's like, let's go into a dark tunnel together and we're buds.
I mean, I will say like Jinx hadn't done anything to Vi yet, which I feel like it would have been more interesting if she did during like the escalation of Caitlyn and Jinx. Like let's say that Jinx and Caitlyn actually do fight, and Jinx shoots the shit out of Caitlyn. And now she's like on her deathbed, and now Vi's in a rage. Now Vander's alive, and there's the conflict, and because there has to be a push pull in the emotions, not just like, oh, we're good, like. Vi now being on the warpath to kill Jinx, like you're right. I have no sister.
She was kind of
for like a word in words only, words only, and then like, but Kate being like about to die, the rage Vi feeling, she finally corners Jinx, and the only reason they're not fighting for real is because now Jinx is like, I found Vander, like that's your conflict, like that should have been not I went to go be Ronda Rousey for a weekend, and then now we're here. I will say I have a few nitpicks about this show, and I'm forgetting one of them, but I'll say, what was it? I just had it. Oh, the fight at the end between Vander and Jinx and Vi, made no fucking sense.
Oh, that was terrible.
Why the fuck? Because every other robot is just strings cut, puppets on the ground. Why is it when Vander breaks his concentration, Victor breaks his concentration? Vander is now a raging bull and wants to kill Jinx and Vi. He's the only one for some reason. Well, at that point, Victor, all the puppets stopped.
Yeah.
Everything stopped.
Well, there's still Warwick in there. the puppets didn't have like another
They didn't really
soul
show.
in
They
there.
showed his like soul being burned away, and it was
that's true.
Like no, there is no autonomy for all the robots. All those those things that were people are now like just husks to be used. Why is Warwick all of a sudden like this killing creature? And if it was that he's now back in control, why is he trying to kill Vi and Jinx?
I don't think it's Vander, but it could be the Beast.
What
or
the
whatever.
fuck is it?
I don't know.
See that?
I also
weak sauce.
I also hated that stupid. And this is where it felt really Hollywood. The whole fight's over. Like Vander or Warwick, whatever, is down like on that ledge, and she's like, "Jump, Vi! Like the thing's gonna fall."
Yeah.
And obviously, like Vi gets up and she's like, "I'm gonna have a moment with Vander really quick." Like, I'm sorry, that's so Hollywood. I don't mind if it wasn't like the falling ledge thing. I probably feel like it's better.
Falling ledge save if she's trying to pull him off, but he's
If she's
too
trying
heavy.
to save him, sure.
Then I'm with you.
But she was just staring at him like, "Oh, I can't say goodbye." And I'm
right,
like,
right.
What?
Little weak sauce.
Yeah, no. Like if you want to save him, try to save him.
Try to save him.
Fine. And then the thing could fall, or like Jinx saves Vi. Then cool. But it was just so Hollywood to have that moment. I felt like
You're
very
being
generic.
killed. You're being choked out, and you reach over and you find the rock.
You find the
and
thing
hit
and you
the-
hit him.
Everyone
Oh,
does it.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
No way.
Witcher.
Oh, the tension of like I'm trying to find something.
You know what always makes me interested in those moments is like if you're the person on top that's like
You're
choking somebody, you're
seeing
not.
them.
You're like you can. Your peripherals, if nothing else, you're like
That's a knife.
I'm gonna let this happen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna choke you before you. Oh, they grab the knife.
it's a race and I'm gonna win.
Yeah, that's so stupid. I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hated that ending section with Jinx saving Vi. I just again going through Vi's character.
You
arc.
hated Jinx saving Vi?
No, I don't mind that. I thought Jinx could have saved Vi in a more grandiose way, or just saved everyone.
You don't like a shoulder tackle?
No.
You don't like a Stone Cold Steve Austin spear?
No,
Watch out, here he comes.
no.
I will say it's hard to believe that I'm pretty sure a 120
Well, no,
pound
she has
girl.
she has the shimmer. You can give her that.
Is that what it is?
She has? She's a
Is
superhuman.
that what they're establishing?
She's
I was always
superhuman.
curious. I was like, is this like...
She has super speed. I'm assuming she's stronger than most people.
So in the game, there's none of that. Like I'll say right now, it's all her technology and her goog,
Yeah.
her zhuzh. So maybe that would explain. Because I was always like, what's the purple shit? Is it just like I thought it was
That's the
stylistic?
shimmer.
I thought it was
No.
stylistic.
The
I didn't
shimmer,
know.
dude.
Okay.
She's super speeds.
Okay. Well, cool. But even so, even with the shimmer, mass is still mass. You can be fast, but like.
Hey, if you speed up, the Flash goes super fast and
Sure, if you're nearing the speed of light, I agree with you. You become infinitely dense. But when I'm pretty sure Vander weighs a few tons.
yeah.
And then Jinx just fucking boom. I'm like, come on.
I mean, yeah, you gotta
Small
get,
gripes.
That's very small.
Small gripes.
That's very
My potatoes
small.
are small, but I'm okay with them.
That's okay.
I got
just
a better one
okay,
for you.
so I thought no, I got something better
Hit
than
me.
whatever you were gonna say.
Eat my dick.
I think that Echo being up on the roof fighting, and then that moment where he like tries to rewind and it's like he's just getting suffocated.
Yeah,
and he
it was
can't go.
sick.
That was awesome. Jinx should come in there. And then now it's Echo and Jinx saving the fucking day, which is like a full circle moment. Them fighting on the bridge. Now Echo's gone and seen like the good version of Powder, and then like comes back, and now they're fighting together. Jinx saves the day. She sacrifices herself. It's this beautiful thing. Yay! But like, I just feel like I don't know. It just.
I feel like she wasn't really a part of that storyline, though.
What do you mean?
The storyline between Jace, Victor, and Echo, and theoretically for Heimerdinger as well.
Yeah.
She didn't really feel like a part of that arc. So her just kind of popping in would feel a bit more like she's Superman, where it's like she has to be the thing that saves everything. I will say it was a bit weak sauce for her and Vi's crescendo to be just like them and Vander.
Yeah.
But if maybe you built up the Vander thing a bit more and you made it like if it wasn't that Vander is wiped away and instead he just made the beast, or like maybe instead of like instead of Victor being the thing that like took over Vander, instead it was like Noxus. We're gonna use the beast. They got rid of like the man and just had the beast left with the doctor's help, and that's what's going on. Maybe then I could see that, but at that point he's just a weapon used by Victor. It was kind of shoehorned in.
Yeah.
You know what my problem is?
Huh.
So Piltover is a bunch of dudes with guns, a bunch of dudes and chicks and people and frog people with guns, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a standing army. Noxus is guys with crossbows and spears and shields. And Piltover is getting bodied the whole time by dudes that just have spears. And you have guns.
Yeah.
And you're telling me you can't fight like not a Persian, a Spartan army of just guys. They have crossbows, and y'all ain't just destroying these dudes. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
You could throw hails of bullets. Oh no, medieval warfare. If you took it's like one of my gate. It's 100% gate, which is like, get the fuck out of here. Now maybe you could argue that yes, the shields could block stuff, but you can clack. Good luck. That was the biggest bullshit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I will say, I forget her name. I'm bad with names. The black girl that led the army, she was pretty badass.
Oh, the mom.
She was pretty cool. Yeah, the mom.
Oh, dude, that fight was
sick.
Phenomenal.
It was pretty sick.
I love that fight. That was great. That was their best fight of the season, hands down. Like
you might be right about that. Yeah. Although I will say, Echo's rewind moment always gets me.
Oh yeah, that's
always
awesome.
Gets me.
Also, I found out that they had a whole but they continued when Jinx is like blowing herself up. And keeps rewinding, which is really cool. They have like, I don't know, 30 seconds of dialogue that they just cut, and it was gonna be Echo saying something along the lines of like, I've literally seen the good in you, and like bring her back. Which like I don't even know what he said to stop her. I don't even remember what he said because it wasn't that impactful to me. What he said to stop her from killing herself. I think
he was like, I need a moment. He like sat down.
He's like, Jesus Christ, stop! And he's like, what if you could just use your power for good or something? I don't know what he said, but I just felt like there was like a whole scene that they were gonna like have, and it's gonna be way more emotional between them. And I would have liked to see that because I thought episode 7 was my favorite episode. To be honest, episode 7 or 9 were my favorite episodes in the season. Episode 7 is when they just focus on hybrid. I would have to give it to episode 7. And the reason being is they focus on the fucking characters. Heimerdinger, Echo, and Powder.
Yeah.
And that's like that whole story to me, and them dancing with the French music and like being on the rooftop and kissing.
It was really cute.
Amazing episode.
Really cute.
Amazing episode.
I love how he's just like, I have to go now. But then like the original Echo's still there, and she's like, what happened? He's like, where the fuck am I? And she's just like, we made out. And he's like, I'm
who
gay.
are you?
Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? In this dimension, Echo's gay, but he's just like, that was a weird moment in general. I mean, you know, it's interesting. The whole thing was interesting, and I will say, look, we still loved it. I think they could have made better decisions. And look, it's really hard. I will say, it's really hard. It's really easy when it's all done to see it and go, oh, you should have done this, this, and this. Because we've been there
100%.
when you're like in that scripting phase and you're making something and you're just trying to connect dots and you're seeing it in your head. And it's hard to hit everything perfectly.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing I think we're coming to is the time jump and the swift change of Jinx's personality. That's what kind of kept the show from being a 10.
Yes.
Big time.
I mean, and all the other things we said.
Well, yeah, but I would say if you fix those two things, a lot of the other stuff I think would have at least been like gripes as opposed to big moments.
Yeah.
So, okay, favorite, if you had to pick something, favorite moment in the show.
Fuck. There's so many. Wait, in all seasons or just season 2?
No, just season 2.
My favorite moment in season 2. Oh, man. Fuck.
Take your time.
Dude, I have no idea. I mean,
we only have an hour. Go ahead.
my favorite... to pick one is tough.
It is tough.
I
Look, you can change it later on if you'd like. Pick something that you think was just like, you made noise when you saw.
I mean, it
You
would
want
be
me to start?
the Vander reveal, but that wouldn't be my favorite moment. I definitely made noise when it was Vander.
I'll start for you. How
Okay.
about that?
Sure.
I would say for me, because I'm actually such a big Echo fan, that when we finally got to see him do the Echo thing, which is like
When
rewinding
saving
time,
Jinx or fighting?
fighting.
Okay,
At the-
yeah.
when he's going through all the robots,
Yeah, that
stuff
was
like that.
fucking cool.
When he's like the way his whole power works is just so cool. Because I
Yeah.
love the idea that it's not just perfect; it has consequences. And him like going through and like, oh crap, and rewinding. I almost would have loved to see him fight Victor a little bit.
Yeah.
And because it's like, it seemed like his power could trump the Infinity Gauntlet, essentially, that Vander had. And
Victor.
Vander and Victor gets fucked up for me. And like that moment of him being like, what the hell's going on? What's this? And I will say, using it to explode his mask a little bit was a little bit weak sauce to me. I was just like, really? That's okay. Like, all right. But like that moment, the crescendo, the swelling of the music, that like, oh, finally this huge payoff with Echo and this thing, that was sick. And then when he's like stop. He's like, drung, drung.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
pretty cool.
That was
That's a
sick.
pretty cool moment.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to take yours. I mean, that's definitely up there for sure.
You can't take mine. It's mine.
Okay, fine.
Eat my dicks.
I will.
Turn the cameras off. Or zoom in.
Oh. They're zooming.
Yeah.
They're zooming.
Keep zooming. It's very small.
Okay. I would say my favorite moment of season 2 of Arcane would be the Mel fight against her mom. And like seeing her like step into the Black Rose and just fucking light that shit up, that was pretty fucking cool. I like that a lot.
I like that she waited just long enough for her mom to like
Get fucked up.
Get
Yeah,
killed?
fuck her. Yeah, good.
What happened?
Oh, by the way, so yeah, you're right. No character in the show is actually dead. Like, I'm sure Jason, Victor, like you said, they're like off in a different dimension. They'll
Yeah,
come back.
they'll come
cool. What's her name? I forgot. The mom. I forgot her name.
I forget her name too. I think she's dead.
No, she's not.
She's not?
No, because she keeps her whole thing. There's a theory. There's always a theory, but she keeps saying like the wolf. You're the wolf. The wolf. The this that. And there's a character. I forgot her name from League of Legends that follows this like wolf thing. And then
You don't mean Kindred.
yeah, I think so.
No, she's not Kindred.
No. It's something to do with Kindred. But
Kindred
anyway,
is essentially the Grim Reaper, and it's
the theory is that she dies, and then she goes to this like hellscape basically, and then meets death maybe, and then like meets that girl, and she sends her back basically, and she becomes fucking forgot.
There's no way she would be Kindred because that's almost like a primordial creature, like a force of nature more than anything else. I mean, Kindred's a very cool story in general, but it's essentially like the idea of death is what Kindred is more than anything else. Her going back, I mean, she's a brand new character, so I don't know what she'd be coming back as, if anything.
We are talking about the head general and leader of house leaders like Caitlyn's mother, Vander, Silco.
Well, she just killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, and also they had to wrap up the show. It's not like there's much time to like do that. This is not the video I watched. This guy sucks.
Well,
The video is basically saying there's a character that she's gonna become. She dies. She goes to this place and like she becomes this like other character basically. I forgot what character that fucking is, but whatever. It's something to do with a wolf. I don't know.
interesting. Okay, there's no way. It'd be weird if she became Kindred. I'll say that. I mean, I'm all ears. I mean, like, I would like some consequences. I
Yeah,
don't
I know.
want every single character to come back.
Well, Heimerdinger's dead for sure.
No. He's just gone. We didn't see what happened to him.
I thought he got vaporized.
Or did he get sent? So here's the problem.
Everyone that gets vaporized.
Everyone gets like a different dimension. Which, look, I want consequences, but I do understand that it's like it's got to be hard to pick who lives and who dies because like everyone's got a favorite character, and
you gotta choose.
you got to do something. You do got to do something, and so. You know, realistically, Jinx probably should be dead, and Vander probably should be dead.
Yes.
And then, like, I kind of, I'll be honest, like, I'm ready to move on from Vi and Caitlyn. I am ready to move on from them. I want to. There's so many interesting characters. I still kind of think the Mbessa's daughter is Karma. I still kind of feel like it is.
Oh, yeah.
It just the powers are the same. Like, their aesthetic is the same. Like Google Karma. Like you'll see it. Like. There is this kind of weird like I'm pretty like it might not be because there's another land that she kind of comes from, but it's like a kind of one of those spiritual daughters that has like the same powers of like shielding and shoot a blast or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, but her whole thing is more like turquoise.
Sure, but she has other skins and like Jace's skins don't look like they look like in the beginning or whatever, and so everybody's kind of has their own stick. Victor, his skin is massively different in the game versus the show. So there's it did seem like they were bringing in a bunch of new. They were like, and here's this character, and here's this character, and here's this character, kind of a thing. Either way, I think we hit it. We got a lot out there. Yeah. I still really like season 2.
Yeah,
but I think there's definitely a smarter way they could have gone with it.
Totally.
Yeah.
100%. I also. Okay, look, this show cost $250 million. Woo! The whole season 1, season 2, plus marketing. All of it, all in total,
you want to know what's fucked up about that?
Huh.
The new movie Red 1 with fucking Chris Evans, it was $250.
Why?
And it was, I didn't even see it. I know it's a shit movie. It's a shit movie.
Oh, it's a terrible movie. $250. Because you're paying The Rock. That's why.
$50 million he got.
Yeah, $50 million. I mean,
like,
you're probably spending $125 just on actors for that movie.
Oh yeah, it's $100 for marketing. Like I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, a whole season of Arcane. $250.
No. Whole season of Arcane is $125. Whole The whole show is $250. So 2 seasons of Arcane is $250.
Oh my
With
God.
marketing.
Hollywood, what are you doing?
They just throw money fucking at The Rock.
The
I don't
Rock.
know.
I love how we're becoming like a TMZ podcast
Yeah.
now. The Rock is not the powerhouse he once was. Like he had his heyday. You know, he used to call himself franchise Viagra because you bring him in to make your franchise better, and then like Fast and Furious 19, and it's just not hitting the same. And
Yeah.
like Black Adam sucked, and just
Yeah.
like, dude, it's time to move on. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, but this maybe brings a broader conversation of. You can make quality for less, and you don't need to just throw stupid money at everything. Like throw
Yeah.
money at things that can use it well.
Yep.
And so I'm really excited for possibly the future. I mean, it's sad that it's going to probably take another few years at best. To
Well,
make
no,
it to the
they
season.
already said that at least one of the spin-offs has been in development for a year.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Like hopefully we'll get.
So
I would love
Holy
that at least
production
every other
starts
year.
this year, and then it's like 3 years, probably
Yeah.
2 years, two to three probably. We'll see something.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited, and we even have a
And then
friend.
probably once like 2 to 3 years from now, then like they'll have the other shows, and then it'll be like show, like once a year each one
Yeah.
kind of thing. So
Do you think Jace and Victor were gay? There's a lot of theories that they're
Victor-
actually homosexual
Jinx.
because they hug
No.
at the end.
Oh, I got one I want to talk about actually. Jinx.
no, not Jinx.
You said Jinx.
Jace
Oh,
and Victor
Jace?
are gay together.
No.
They like
we know
love
he's
each other.
not gay.
Bye.
No, I think the problem is anytime there is
Like a friendly man.
anytime
like,
there is any kind of deep relationship between two characters, they always want to make it sexual, and it's like
Yeah.
you can just have a friendship that's a friendship. It can
Yeah,
just be
it's
a
a
beautiful,
beautiful
friendship.
friendship.
You don't have to have everything be like let's put the hole in the hole, or like put the thing in the hole, or two holes together. Like
Yeah.
it can just be that two people really like. Jace and Victor just are like kindred spirits that like
Yeah.
came together. I wouldn't like it if they
No,
were
I
romantic
would
because
hate
I'd be
that.
like it's more beautiful for them to have a
friendship. Yeah, way better.
My name's Jordan. This is Nick. We are your hosts of Daddy Senpai, and we will see you next time. Caitlin and Vi go down on each other.
I want to
Season 2
introduce
Arcane.
myself.
Eat my dicks.
Okay. You have dicks? Plural?
Yeah.
How many?
How many do you want?
8.
They grow like octopi.
Oh.